So a very warm welcome to my first guest, Safwat Gerges, General Manager and Franchisee to 5 studios in New York and Long Island, as well as 2 studios here in Dubai. He's a certified master, examinator, adjudicator of the Arthur Murray Dance Schools. He's also co-organizer of the Empire State Dance Championships. Wow, welcome.
Thank you, Siobhan. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Great to have you on the programme. Thanks for joining us. I got really excited about all this, I must admit. I was sort of doing lots of research beforehand and also reading about the story really of the studios, which, as I mentioned briefly, has a really phenomenal story. Way back in 1912 that it started? Yeah. You know, and I don't even know, what were people dancing back then? What was the sort of main form of dance?
Well, it was actually sort of a ballroom dancing as well, but these are the things that they did. It was strictly for the kings and the queens, but really the average people were just there to watch.
Yeah.
So it was not really popular then until later on. Mr. Murray, which is actually Murray Teichmann was his original name, and he was from Austria, and, immigrated to the U.S. and started to teach in college and started to teach the students, and he showed a terrific enthusiasm for doing this, and so the students asked him, why don't you start this as some sort of a business? So his first venture was teaching the public by footprints. So he had footprints, and he mailed it to people, and which is then people realized that it's quite difficult to really learn dancing by footprints. So he got several calls to ask him to go to people's homes. It was kind of the upper class people. And he started that, and then from that venture, he realized that he was losing too much time on the road, traveling from one house to another house. And then the suggestion was, why don't you open a center and have people come to you? And he started that and opened the first center sometime in the early 30s, and it was in Midtown Manhattan. It was 43rd Street and Broadway in New York City. Yeah.
Gosh, what a great place. Broadway as well. He was already way ahead of his time, wasn't he? Is it still there?
No, but actually it moved around because the area changed dramatically. But now it's on 57th Street between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue.
Gosh.
And it's still doing very well.
And what was also interesting, slightly on aside from the dancing, I believe he was a bit of a pioneer in, I suppose, realising and understanding the power of advertising.
Yes.
That was the way he sort of spread out, wasn't it, and got people to know about his work and his studio.
Yeah, he was a master in advertising, and until now we use many of his concepts and ideas about advertising. So it's he was really the business mind behind the whole venture. His wife Catherine, though, was the dancer.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. Right. But they both were very, very good dancers as well.
Yeah. It's a fantastic story, and obviously since then, many studios have opened up all over the world. Franchisees, that's how they've spread. How many are there altogether now? Do you know?
There are over 250 centers now around the world. The majority of them are in the U.S. We have them in Canada, in South Africa, Australia, and of course there are some in England, in Italy, and now in the Middle East. We have them, of course, in Dubai and in Cairo, Egypt, in Beirut, Lebanon, Amman, Jordan. So it's quite fascinating. It's almost every continent now has some sort of Arthur Murray Dance Center in it, which is really quite exciting.
What's the spirit? Do you think the spirit sort of lives on from the originators? So what's different, do you think, about these dance schools as opposed to perhaps any other dance school?
Well, Arthur Murray centers are known for 2 major things that they really consider their own. One is what we refer to as the Arthur Murray method of teaching, which comprises private lessons, group lessons, and practice party sessions. And then the other element of really what identify Arthur Murray as a big dance school are the scholastic system. We call it the medal system, bronze, silver, gold, just for lack of better words. But it's just the equivalent to elementary school, intermediate school, high school, and actually the students, when they finish a particular level in ballroom dancing, they get observed, and then they are awarded certification for their accomplishment.
Right.
So these two elements, the Arthur Murray system and the scholastic system, is really what identify Arthur Murray as the world leader in teaching dancing.
And I suppose if you don't want to do the competitions or that, you could just do it purely for social reasons. Would that be right as well?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I would say almost 100% of our students come in for social reasons. They want to dance because either a wedding or a party or a cruise or something, and then it kind of grow in them, if you will, and they start to like it. It becomes a hobby, and then they say, well, let me see really how far I can go with that, and then they start to become more competitive, exhibition dancing. So this is, but it all starts most definitely from the social dancing aspect.
But it's absolutely incredible, isn't it, how I think dancing has just had this humongous revival over the past, well, quite a few years now, actually. I'm just thinking of particularly of various different television shows, Come Dancing, Strictly Ballroom, Strictly Come Dancing, So You Think You Can Dance, you know. I'm just, if you've just joined us, I am actually joined in the studio by Safwat Gerges, who in fact is the general manager and franchisee to the studios here and also in New York and Long Island. Is it for everyone, or what's the sort of minimum age of
actually
students?
any age. There's no really minimum age. I would say from 8 to 80.
Okay.
So if somebody knows the answer, or that he's certainly more than welcome. Yeah.
Wonderful. And do you need to have a partner, or can you just turn up?
No, you do not need to have a partner. If you have a partner, that's fine. Then your couple will. If you don't have a partner, then we'll have an instructor, either a lady or a gentleman, to be dancing with you.
Do you need proper shoes?
Any shoes that have leather soles. This way you glide on the floor, because obviously the dance floor is wood. So rubber soles and sneakers and that kind of a thing is not it's not good.
And would you say it's good for fitness as well? Could it be a sort of a bit of an exercise routine or a workout for you?
Oh, absolutely. Now dancing is just considered one of the best exercises, because it's low impact aerobics, basically. Sometimes we describe it, if a person takes a dance position, they have their upper bodies, all the muscles are engaged, their arms, their neck muscles, and then as they start to move, then the rest of the body is moving. So basically any dance move that you do, practically every muscle is engaged. For the ladies, especially when they start to do most of the time their steps are walking backward, so now calf muscles are also engaged. So there's this wonderful exercise. We have a saying that if you actually dance a samba for 2.5 minutes, it's like running 3 miles.
Really?
Yeah. That's a 2.5 minutes, 3 miles.
What a great way to get fit. It's much better than on the treadmill, isn't it?
That's for sure.
I just wondered, I'd like to sort of perhaps ask you a few questions, Safwat, because as I mentioned, you've actually been in the business now for over 25 years, haven't you?
Yes.
How did you come to dance? What's your story?
I was born in Egypt, grew up in Egypt, and when I was 9 years old, our president then, Gamal Abdel Nasser, he wanted to put Egypt on the map of cultural countries as well, especially in the Middle East. So he decided to open a ballet school. Which was, so we had Russian professors and dancers and coaches come and study the school. So it was a very, very tough test for all the children to enter. There were 600 children that entered, and they selected 6 boys and 6 girls, and I was one of the fortunate 6 boys to be selected. So I studied ballet at that age, and then I graduated. I became a professional ballet dancer in the Cairo Ballet Company. And then I left the country after I graduated from college, and I went to Europe. I danced on stage in Austria, but I always looked to the U.S. as sort of like a final destination. When I went there, I just by accident read an ad that says dance instructors needed, no experience not necessary, well trained. So I walked in, and I was puzzled because I thought it was a ballet school.
Right.
So I saw people dancing together, and then the music changed, and then they changed their dance, and I was quite puzzled. I said, how did they know that? what dance to do to what music. So in any event, so I had the interview, and of course they were very happy to have me as one of the trainees there. And very quickly I became one of the top teachers because of my dance background. And I really loved it because it offered everything. And that's how I really got into the ballroom dancing part.
It's quite a different movement though, isn't it? I mean, I used to study ballet as well for many years, and in some ways it's quite, I'm not saying it's rigid, but it's very, very disciplined. I always imagine sort of a bit more the sort of, you know, the Latino dances, you got to loosen up a little bit, you know, and kind of let yourself sort of flow with the music a little bit more than that very sort of strict, rigid movements. Did you find that was quite tough for you to
change,
to sort of get into that?
It is. In fact, sometimes I was fortunate to be able to make the change. Some of my colleagues, especially the ladies that wanted to enter the ballroom field, and they found it quite difficult because their feet are shaped now. They start to walk kind of funny when you walk backward. It's almost like they're still on stage, and they found it quite difficult to really adjust back to the normal type of walking. Yeah.
What about, I mean, what sort of styles are you offering here in Dubai? What styles of dancing?
All types. We do obviously the Latin dancing, and then the ballroom dancing. They all go under the umbrella of social dancing, which is foxtrot, waltz, tango, and then we go into the Latin dancing like the cha-cha, the mambo, the rumba, the merengue, the samba, and then the contemporary dancing, which is disco, hustle, and so that we have all. Any kind of music that you basically can listen to, we have a dance for.
Okay, and you have all different levels of each one that you can go to and
absolutely
not feel silly.
No, absolutely not. We start people on what we refer to as introductory programs, which is just a couple of steps, dancing them to the music, and that's basically it. And then if they want to expand their repertoire, then they go further to what we're calling a social type program, which is have more variations, more dances, more elements. Then they start to get into styling and technique and posture and movements, things that kind of beautify the dancing more.
And what about you? What's some of your favorite styles? What do you like to dance?
I get asked this question all the time, and I always say every single one of them I really love very much, because I find each dance has its own expression. And I just love all of them just as much as, equally. Viennese waltz, as difficult as it might be, as well as the merengue, as simple as it might be, considering the merengue is the simplest dance. I just find something fun in each dance. Okay.
And who would you like to dance with? Who would be your, living or not?
My wife.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, it is. My wife is actually the best partner because, number one, she knows all the steps. She knows all the moves. So she's a great dancer. And then she has a really wonderful sense of expressing the music in her own way that really complements her so much. And so she's certainly my favorite partner.
That's lovely. Who do you admire there in the dance world? I mean, is it the sort of, I always think of Ginger Rogers from Fred Astaire or Grace Kelly and, and those beautiful gowns, and
those are some of the styles that we try to emulate, actually. I mean, Fred Astaire is obviously considered by many dancers as the best dancer ever existed. Even by ballet dancers' notion, they consider him the best dancer. He's certainly is a legend.
And I know that the Arthur Murray dance studios have actually taught quite a lot of famous people to dance, or they've actually been on the set of many films. A couple of you mentioned Dirty Dancing and many, many more. Have you actually ever had the opportunity to sort of be with any sort of famous people? Drop some names.
Personally, not, but certainly the organization. We have many dance centers, Arthur Murray Dance Center, that we taught Al Pacino in the
Scent of a Woman, really?
Scent of a Woman, yes. And we had Patrick Swayze when he did Dirty Dancing with Jennifer Grey. We taught him the mambo. And then we have Jennifer Lopez in Shall We Dance.
Oh, yeah.
We had Banderas. They did Take the Lead, Antonio Banderas.
Right.
So we also worked with him. So there are many, many stars that actually come to Arthur Murray to brush up or to learn. Yeah.
So tell me, you've got about a minute or so left, but I would like to find out about the studios here in Dubai. You're opening your second one this week at Souk Al Bahar. Tell me a little bit about where it's located and what's available there for listeners.
It's in the